Hello everyone, welcome to Chapter 6 Flow of Control Part 1. Introduction. Let us take a look at what is control flow. Control flow is the lines of code executed by the Python interpreter. Not always it will be the order from the first line to the last line. The order can change. And this can change because of some branches or because of some conditions. So there can be multiple paths a Python interpreter can take from start to finish. Selection. So based on some decisions that the Python interpreter makes, or based on some conditions that the Python interpreter evaluates, based on the outcome of those decisions or conditions, the Python interpreter can execute different sets of lines of code in a program. Usually, these are grouped together using an if block or a if and else block, or if there are multiple conditions, then we need to use if, elif, and else block. Now let's take a look at some variations of the program. This is the first set of lines. So here I'm trying to get the number from the user and then trying to evaluate whether the number is divisible by 5 using this operator. And then if it is divisible by 5, I'm trying to print a message saying the number is multiple of 5. So when I provide 6, the program does not print anything because it is not divisible by 5. Now we have a slight variation here. The if condition and the block is same, but we have got an additional block which is an else block. So here if you see, I'm printing the number is not a multiple of 5. So when you look at the difference in the output of these two programs for the same input 6, we have an additional line which says 6 is not a multiple of 5. That is because the condition is evaluated, it fails, so it gets into the else block and prints whatever is there in the else block. This is a flowchart for a program, and in this flowchart we have a start, and from the start we will see how the control will flow in the program. So now we're printing what is the weather now, and then we're trying to read the weather as an input from the user. After reading the input, we are doing a decision block here. So we have a condition where we are trying to check whether it is met or not. So if the weather is rainy, it goes through this path and then prints wear a raincoat as a control flow. If that's not the case, it goes to the next block where it is checked whether the weather is cold. Again, if the weather is cold, it prints this block which says wear a sweater. If that's not the case, it goes to the final location where we are trying to print wear a t-shirt, and then all of them will come to the end, and then the program stops here. Now let's take a look at the corresponding Python code for the flowchart that we just now covered. So here we have a weather variable where we're trying to get it from the user as an input. We have got an if block where we are checking if it's rainy. We're printing wear a raincoat. If the weather is cold, then print wear a sweater. Else, if it's not rainy or cold, then wear a t-shirt, right? And now this is how the execution would be. So when the user provides cold, it prints wear a sweater. Indentation. I'm sure you might have noticed this already. We provide tab as an one tab as an indentation so far. So in a Python program, if you want to group statements together in one block, then you can give either a space, one or more spaces, or we can provide a tab. So I generally use a tab, and you can see that there's one tab, and then in the else block as well, there's one tab. So commonly used pattern is tab, but you can feel free to use even space. And statements that are supposed to be in the same block should have the same indentation, whether it is space or tab, you should maintain it. Okay, now let's take a look at the sample program. So here we get a number from the input. We test whether it is an even or odd by using this condition. In the if condition, if it is divisible by 2, we print number is even. In the else block, we say number is odd. And then finally, we have one print statement here. And as you can see, there is no indentation here. It starts at the same column number as the rest of the lines of code. So that means this print is outside the if else block. So now we can verify that from the output. When the user provides 1, 1 is odd, and it says thank you.